to implement new digital currencies as cities activate smart infrastructure. Shalom, shalom. Before I start this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. I want to give double honor to the elders and apostles that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. To the hopeful elect, House of David, Shalom, and to the few Akwaf that listen up, subscribing to this truth, Shalom. It's Brother Dama Gabar here from GMS Los Angeles with another lesson. Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and as the talk in the news has been lately, more talk about these central banks racing to implement these digital currencies, which these digital currencies are going to be the key access into this digital slave system that these global elites are trying to implement, through the likes of Klaus Schwab and the WEF, the World Economic Forum. And everywhere you look around the world, all of these banks around the world are all, bringing in this system, unbeknown to the public of this being, the way into this new world order. This is how they're taking control of every single aspect of activity being done on this earth is going to be done through the act of buying or selling. And this is how they're going to lure the majority of you people into this beast system, is by taking away your access to buy and sell, by doing away with this current system, this current financial banking system, by basically turning every piece of money, every form of this Federal Reserve note, whether you have it in the bank, whether you have, actual physical cash on hand, they're going to eventually do away with it. They're going to make it worthless and useless. And the only way you'll be able to have transactions and buy or sell is by coming aboard this new beast system, via your charagma, the M.O.T.B, And hey, they're all moving towards this main goal. And this whole smart city infrastructure is nothing more than your prison cell, but in a digital form, where you'll be tracked, you'll be traced, you'll be followed. They'll have total, complete rulership and control over your the way that you buy and sell. All of your money will be in this central bank digital currency form. It will be controllable. It will be programmable. You'll be told what you can buy, what you cannot buy, where your CBDCs, where it has access to, where you can use it, where you can shop, where you can't shop. And this is where everything is headed, man. And this is why they're taking control over everything. They're taking control of farming. They're taking control of how you can travel. They're taking control of, free speech. They're taking control over every aspect of your life, man. They're taking away your so-called freedoms, and they're gonna, base your freedom on your so-called social credit score. How good of a slave, how good you're obeying, how good you follow their orders and do what they tell you to do. That's going to be how you'll have access to things or not have access to things. All right. And this article is just further going to shed light on it, man. Because at the end of the day, all this is all going to lead to Revelations 13 and 16, which is the mark of the you-know-what, man. All right. This is why we do these videos constantly when we see information like this, to give you warning from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, so that when this thing is presented before you, when you start to see these things take shape, and whenever you hear about a CBDC or a digital currency or a social credit rating, immediately what should pop into your head is the mark of the beast, so that you can be in the know, so that you could be aware of what this devil is planning to do. And no matter how nice he tries to pitch it to you, no matter how sweet he makes it sound, no matter how much chaos he allows to happen, how much he allows this society to crumble and go out of control, just know that this is going to be the end game. This is going to be their solution for all of society to get back to normal, to have some type of normalcy back into the world, is through this digital beast system, man. All right, so let me read a little bit of this article. It says, starting in January, the globalist-controlled central banks of Nigeria will restrict cash withdrawals from banks and ATMs down to just $45 per day in a bid to shift the African countries towards a cashless economy. You see, so they're moving more and more towards you losing less and less cash, to make it obsolete, to make it less convenient for you, to make everything go digital. You see, so one way to do that is to restrict your how much cash that you can withdraw, and ultimately withdraw. Slowly take away how much cash you're going to be spending. It says in recent months, many other central banks have announced similar plans. You see, because this is a global agenda. It's not just in Nigeria. It's happening everywhere, and eventually, it's going to happen here in the United States, man. And this is the whole plan of these elites to gain control and a digital totalitarian system over the whole world. It says China, India, Russia, Brazil, Sweden, and the United States, among others, have all signaled a similar shift away from paper and coin money, which is soon to be replaced worldwide by a global digital money system, you see? And this is how they're going to lure a lot of you people into it. All right. They're going to totally take away your ability to have the money and the funds that you have now. And you have a lot of people who have a lot of money in their savings, You have money in the bank, you have cash on hand, you have cash in the safe, you have coins, hidden away somewhere protected outside of the banks and outside of, your banking system, which, once they collapse this system, all that money is going to go to waste. All of that money will instantly become worthless, man. And therefore, it just gives these devils more and more control over you and over, your ability to do particular things, to where you'll have no choice but to come to them for the want of all things. And this is why they're causing all of these manufactured famines. They're blowing up all of these food manufacturing plants. They're telling you that, farming is bad, food is not being grown. But the food that is going to be available is going to be in the control of these elites and the control of these governments, which will ultimately lead you, with the false belief that the only way that you can survive is to come to them and do whatever the hell they want you to do to have these things, which, as we know, is going to be this charagma. It says, back in November, the globalist-controlled Federal Reserve announced the launch of a 12-week pilot program to test out a new central bank digital currency for Americans called CBDC, which stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. Nigeria adoption of its own CBDC is significant because it joins 8 other countries that have already done the same. One by one, the countries of the world are falling in line with a global digital money system that will be fully controlled by what has come to be known as the deep state. You see? This is all a plan. They've been working on this for years and years and years, and now they're at the point to where they're implementing it, all right? So let's jump here to the second paragraph. You know what? Let me read this precept, man, all right? Because like I said, they've been planning this shit. This is not nothing new. Don't fall for the whole, we're going to do this test pilot program. This has always been part of their agenda. This has always been part of the plan. And now we're at a point in history where they're going to start doing this shit, man. What was that? That's what I wanted. God, this is Psalms 37:12. It says, the wicked plotted against the just and gnashed upon him with his teeth. What? Okay, wait till I'm done. It says, see, and that's what this devil is doing. The wicked is plotting against the just, man. And this is ultimately a way for this devil to, come against the Lord's elect, hoping that he get all of the elect to commit the sin of taking this, this charagma, so that he can try to unset prophecy and fulfill his own, digital Godhead and become the Most High. It says, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming, you see? And this is really Esau's last attempt to try to reach Godhead, try to be God, try to upset prophecy, to try to, keep his rulership intact forever, which is never going to happen, It says, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversations, right? Because he has the whole agenda to come against the men of the Lord and the prophets who are calling this shit out. He has a plan to come against all of these truthers, all of these people who are on BitChute and on Rumble and who are on these different alternative media platforms exposing the truth. And that's part of the New World Order as well. That's why they're going to have this thing called a social credit score. This is why they're going so hard to try to, label anybody that speaks the truth as extremists and label you as everything that you say as concerning the truth as misinformation, disinformation. They got to have all these fact checkers because basically everybody is calling this devil out, man. You know, Esau can't hide himself anymore. The Lord has the spotlight on this devil. So one of the plans that he have is to silence anybody that has opinions outside of his opinions outside of the mainstream narrative, man. You know what? This is why he's putting guys like Kanye on the television to say such absurd things and saying all this bullshit so that he can, one, label him as anti-Sem, which I think they deemed him the anti-Semite of the year, but ultimately, you know, have him say the most outlandish things so that they could promote it on the news as that free speech is a problem. That telling the truth can incite riots. It can incite violence against particular groups, so that they can use that as a talking point to come against your free speech and to deplatform you and to take voices off of the mainstream media that they don't want to be heard anymore. You know. And they're doing all these things. And they're looking to slay us, assassinate our character, call us crazy. You know, now they're passing certain laws to where I think, where is it, in New York, that they're going to start throwing people in psych wards and different health facilities that they deem to be mentally unstable. And you better believe anybody that's coming with a narrative that the narrative of the men of the Lord and what the Hebrew Israelites are speaking, they're going to eventually label that as a hate speech, and they're going to come up against us. It says, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. You see? And that's ultimately what's going to happen. You know, Esau's thinking that he's setting us up, but really the Lord is setting this devil up to be destroyed and to be judged, man. You know? And this devil is really setting his own trap. You know, this whole new world order is going to backfire on this guy in a major way, man. It says, in the new globalist world economy, all transactions will be monitored and controlled. It says, if you think it is nothing for America to worry about, think again. While there may not be official limits on cash withdrawals here in the U.S. yet, there are pressures in place to not withdraw too much. Requesting to withdraw, say 5,000, which is beyond most standard ATM's limit, it could result in an interrogation as to why. The bank might start probing and asking questions, forcing the customer to come up with a compelling case. The claim is that these limits help to fight crime and prevent money hoarding and inflation. The reality is that it is all about control and preventing the average person from using his earnings and holdings the way he chooses, also known as freedom, you see? And this is one of the things that this new world order and this digital beast system is going to take away from you. All right. The ability to spend money how you see fit and where you want to spend it and do whatever you want to do with it. Those things are not going to exist in this man's new beast system. All right. All money will be controlled. It will be programmable. And you're only going to have so much so-called CBDCs to spend within a particular month, only on particular purchases, man. So if you spend too much money on meat or beef, then guess what? Once you reach your monthly stipend of how much you can have for the month, you'll be cut off. You go to the store and try to buy some beef, your CBDCs will be programmed to where you won't be that CBDC won't be able to buy that. But you'll be able, they'll tell you, well, you already had too much beef for the month, but your CBDCs will be unlocked and used and programmed to where you can buy goddamn bugs, some mealworms. You can have some a mealworm protein, but not a physical meat protein, man. You see? It's going to be like that all across the board, man. It says, this is about going digital and replacing cash with a more controllable, more trackable mode of exchange, writes Leo Hallman on this site. It says, this all ties into the so-called smart cities movement. Major cities everywhere are being transformed to accommodate the coming shift to a global centralized currency that does away with paper and coins. It says, we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we are about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one, revealed globalist economist Pippa Malmgren at the World Government Summit back in March of this year, you see? And these devils, they know exactly where they want to go with this thing, They know exactly where they want to go with it. And they're going to inch you people into the system little by little by little, man. Till eventually they're going to set the trap and spring it upon a lot of these people out here who are ignorant. And you're going to be trapped into this man's digital beast system, It says, and the new one, the new accounting is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having an almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. The goal is to prevent anyone, pay attention. The goal is to prevent anyone from making any transaction outside the system. You see, so you're not going to be able to side hustle. You're not going to be able to cut hair in your garage without the government knowing about it and you getting paid for it, man. Those days are going to be gone, man. Because you have a lot of people who are unbanked in this society who have a lot of money, who are working outside of the framework of how the system's supposed to work, and they're surviving. They're living. They're making money. They're doing transactions. They're buying and selling without this devil having any control over it. That's not going to exist in this man's new world order. It says every piece of economy will be fully controlled and fully surveilled at all times, ensuring total globalist control over the masses. You see? Says that way they will know how much gasoline or heating oil you are consuming, how much meat you are consuming, and it will be added to your carbon footprint, by which you will be taxed for any usage over your allotted amount. Yeah. So if you're doing too much of one, if you're using too much of one thing, man, hey, they'll be able to stop it, or they'll be able to charge you for it, but that charge for it will be fucking so ridiculously high that it could wipe you out, man. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about control, and this is what this system is coming into, and it's all wrapped up in this one scripture right here, which I've been doing. I think this is about my second and third video this week I did on this situation, because all roads are going to lead into to the mark of the beast. This is Revelations 13 and 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right, and that word mark in the Greek is charagma, which means a thing inserted inside of you, and that'll be your access into this and your sacrifice into this new world order, this beast system, which they're going to present as salvation and life and harmony and peace and safety. But little do you know, man, it's going to be the ultimate form of slavery and restriction and control that this government is going to have over your family, your life, your children, and everybody in it, man. All right. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. See, you're not going to be able to buy or sell unless you have this mark and you're into this man's system. But you buying and selling is going to be totally controlled and totally at their at their approval. And it's going to be linked to a social credit score. All right. You're going to be watched. You're going to be surveilled. Hey, it's going to be just like how China is now, which China is the model. For every, I think, two people, every so many citizens, they got like 70 cameras for every single person, man, because they're going to constantly be watching you and monitoring you in real time through that through that charagma within your skin, which they'll have all of your information on it, your biometrics, how many breaths you take, where you're traveling, if you're lying, if you're telling the truth, they have a lot of more advanced technology involved into this thing. They're going to have AI behind it, artificial intelligence behind it, literally watching you and literally reading you and studying you at all times, man, to where it's going to know whether you're lying. It's going to know whether you're being nervous. It's going to know how much water you drink for the day, what type of minerals and vitamins that you're lacking in your body and all type of shit, man. All in the name of control and, them having a digital godhead over you, literally trying to be the most high, but through technology, man. All right. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. All right. Which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the damn devil in this system, and how this man operates, man. But again, man, hey, this is where everything is headed. This is why you're about to see this economy be collapsed. You're about to see all hell break loose, and you're about to see the way of life that you have been living it and knowing it totally change and come to a screeching halt, because they're looking to bring in this CBDC and this new world order and this beast system, man. So hey, be warned, stay prayed up, trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and at all costs resist this, even if it costs you your life, man. Because once you take this thing, there's a grave judgment written for those that that bow down and worship this man and his image and his mark. All right, you will be destroyed. So hey, with that, Lord willing, you are edified. Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit of me and do this lesson. Until the next one, Shalom.